This video is for the people who are struggling with their life purpose. If you are not struggling with this, glad you're here, but you ain't gotta be. This is for the people who are. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I've been thinking a lot about purpose lately, life purpose, and about the fact that I don't have one. I don't worry about having one anymore. A week or so ago, I posted a TikTok about where I am right now with my perspective on life purpose. It was just a short video that said, I stopped chasing purpose years ago, and it's been incredibly freeing. Instead, I follow my curiosity. I treat my interests as projects. Some are short term, some are long term. I still have passions, I learn new things, I experience life for joy. And if I find a purpose along the way, so be it. That's essentially what the video was saying. And that's where I'm at right now, for real, when it comes to thinking about my purpose. And I have a small community on TikTok, a small following on that app, but I realized that video reached a lot of people who I've never interacted with before, who have never interacted with me before, probably seen my videos before. And I also realized that I'm not the only one who thinks about purpose in this way. Not that I thought that I was, but there's just some comfort in knowing that you have a shared perspective with other people. And B, that perspective was helping people. There were a lot of people who were like, wait, I never thought about it like this, or I want to try thinking about it like this because I want to stop worrying about my purpose. And so I just want to get into how you can start working on this mindset and what led me to have this mindset of no longer worrying about my purpose and instead following my curiosity. For a big chunk of my life, I thought that my purpose was my identity and that my identity was whatever job I was doing. So therefore, I thought that my purpose was tied to a career or a job. And it's kind of wild that I thought about it like that, and I eventually learned that that kind of thinking doesn't serve me. But it's not that far-fetched to see why I did think that way, because I spent most of my life in a school system that was preparing me to choose a major, and a major that was preparing me to work in a certain industry, which ended up being journalism. That was what I studied and the work that I did when I first left college. And what I realized over time was, I ended up leaving journalism. So if I leave what the career is, did I just abandon my purpose? I spent so much time studying a certain industry and a certain field of work, and so much time working in that field, 40 hours minimum a week doing certain work. I really thought that that is what I should be doing with my life in terms of purpose. And eventually one day I just let it all go. I just released that way of thinking. There is no specific backstory or moment that I can tell you when this happened. I know it just happened for me one day, and I think it's just because my brain was tired of thinking about it and tired of wrestling with it. And sometimes when that happens to us, we ultimately just release it and we just let it go. I guess when we're sick of it enough, our minds and our spirits will just let the thought go. Honestly, I feel like my brain was just like, you've spent so much time worrying about what your life purpose is. Girl, what if you just didn't? What if you just didn't worry about it? What if you just lived your life instead? What if you stopped overthinking and instead just did stuff that you find interesting? And when that interesting stuff is no longer interesting, or it turns toxic, or you feel like you've learned what you needed to learn, try something else. So that's what I did. First, I had to let go of the idea that a particular job or career is at the core of who I am. I had to decouple thinking about myself and thinking about labor, because personally that thinking doesn't serve me. And instead I had to focus on following my curiosity. And following my curiosity means I do things that sound interesting to me. I apply to certain jobs because they sound like something I would like to learn how to do, or I would like to bring my skills to in a new way. I share my perspective and aspects of my life on TikTok and YouTube because that is interesting to me. I became a better cook because there was a season of life where that was really interesting to me. I once learned how to make jewelry because that was interesting to me. And none of that means that any of these actions are my purpose in this life. Like, I don't make jewelry anymore, but I know that I could. I know that if I wanted to give something to someone or make a certain piece to go with a certain outfit, I know that I could. I like to cook, not all the time, but I know that I could. I know that I'm not about to starve. And that's what I mean by treating my interests as projects. Some are short term and some are long term. I don't have to keep up with a hobby or something that piqued my curiosity forever, but I learn things as I go. I learn what I can, what sounds interesting, and I just pick up things here and there. So you might be thinking, okay, that's cute and all for having hobbies, but what about having a job, something that keeps you fed and something that keeps your lights on? The thing about me no longer worrying about my life purpose is that I still have passions. And I don't see passion and purpose as the same, by the way. I use my passions to fuel whatever I'm going to do next in my career. So I know that I wanted to be a journalist because I liked writing and I liked storytelling. I will use those passions at the root of that to look for different kind of work, to try out different industries, or to look for positions and roles that pique my interest. I also recognize that passion could fade, or passion could just turn into something else as you grow on your journey and have different chapters and iterations of living your life. I may one day have a career that is rooted in a completely different passion or skill. I don't know yet. I'm open to it because I know so many people who they have completely changed careers and have found a lot of satisfaction in that. And what I mean by I see passion and purpose as different is I see passion as the thing or the things that you like to do that really capture your interest and make you excited. And I see purpose as the why that drives your behavior and drives your decisions. And I find that why to be such a big question, and so big that I wrestled with it so much, and that's why I decided to stop worrying about what the why is. Also, all of your passions don't have to go to the thing that makes you money. If your job is a transactional thing for you right now, I think that's okay. I think it's okay to be in a space where it's like, okay, right now I trade my time for this money so I can live. And if you explore your passions outside of that, I think that's great. I think that's healthy. I think the important thing is that you're exploring your passion somewhere, or you're exploring your curiosity somewhere. My job is not my creative home. My creative home is right here. It's wherever I go. It's whatever I think about. It's whatever inspires me. Now, if you don't have any passions, I think that's where the following your curiosity part comes in. Because not everyone has passions, and not everyone has passions all the time. Maybe you haven't learned about that thing yet, or haven't tried or been exposed to that thing yet that really has you like, okay, I'm into this. So don't get bogged down with worrying about what your passions are either. Just try to think about things that are interesting to you. So in your free time in the last month or so, how have you spent your time? What kind of things did you find yourself doing that you actually like to do, that actually excited you? And how can you carve out more time to do stuff like that? And if you are thinking about ways to make money doing that, which you do not have to do, what are some ways or some avenues that you can try to profit off of that? And if you haven't done much in your free time lately, or if nothing that you did sounds exciting, what do you daydream about? Or what have you questioned recently? Even if it's something like, oh, I wonder what it's like being a personal shopper for someone. I saw that on YouTube and that seems like kind of easy, or something I could do. It could be anything. So if you're struggling with purpose, you might want to try a season of life led by this kind of thinking instead, and see how that turns out for you. And in talking about this way of thinking, I've had some people say, and I've even thought about it myself, like, okay, well, it sounds like then that your purpose is to be a curiosity-driven person. That is just your purpose. And I'm not going to say that it is, because like I said, I'm in a season of life where I'm not thinking about purpose, because thinking about it worries me and it doesn't serve me to spend so much time worrying about it. I just want to free myself of that and focus on how I want to live instead. Because when I think about life in this way, in terms of following your curiosity, trying out different things, exploring your interests. It's so much more relaxing for me, and it's so much more freeing. So let me know if you've ever thought about anything like this, or if you're also letting go of worrying about your purpose. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.